Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Exodus here, and this is the first podcast that we've done in CHWA, and I can't remember how long. So, hope you guys are ready for a very funny, anime-filled podcast. As you can't tell, we're in the office area, and we have a whole bunch of anime stuff in here because it's awesome. So, on the show, I have two guests tonight. First is Equinox, or Coxie, as we all call him, and the second is Elride.
My office, baby. Can't you tell?
So, as most of you know, this is going to be non-kayfabe, so we don't have to be, he doesn't have to be a Russian, he doesn't have to be, you know, hateful, and I don't have to make jokes every time he talks. Alright, so, let's start this thing off the right way. So, Cox, I gotta ask you.
Yes, sir.
How is it that you got into the wrestling business?
I'm gonna say my father got me into it as a kid. Just sitting there, screwing around with him, watching TV, just randomly flipping through channels. He's like, hey, look, wrestling's on. I was like, oh my god, who's that big giant fucker? But, you know, because I was watching Andre the Giant come out and mess with Hulk Hogan. You know, it was a pretty intense feeling.
Nice.
Luke, same question.
You.
Short, sweet, to the point.
True fact, I was on a bus with him, and we were separated. We didn't live together. So he was like holding these two figures. I was like, hey, what are these? And he said, oh, these are wrestling action figures. I'm like, what's wrestling? Well, he goes, well, come over and watch it on Monday. And we'll watch all these wrestlers. So I came over, next thing you know, I started getting obsessed with it. And, well, we started goofing off around in the yard and the trampolines and etc. And now we're here.
Alright, so, this is a question for both of you. We'll all kind of discuss this. 2015. It's been a big year for both professional wrestling, independent wrestling, WWE. It's been a big year. We've seen a lot of big changes. Match of the year, by far, in my opinion, was either Rollins, Brock, and Cena at the Rumble. And I know it's really weird because Cena's in there.
Right.
But to watch Lesnar make that transition from stereotypical UFC fighter, you know, a lot of people saying he don't know how to work a crowd, he doesn't know how to work in the ring anymore, to see the clinic he put on and the way he presents his character, it's stunning to me. I loved it. Well, what about you guys?
That's a good question.
Right, it is a pretty tough question. I have to actually think.
Yeah, I mean, really, I don't have a favorite. I can't really say that I have a favorite. I don't watch as much as I used to. But just the fact that we got to see a lot of the big names coming from the indie scene into the WWE, and like Neville being Pac, Kevin Steen turning Kevin Owens, and all Finn Balor coming from and everything, and now Finn Balor is the newest NXT champion. Congratulations to him.
Right,
did you guys catch that special?
And may I just say,
it is
that was awesome to see that he finally has the belt. So I'd just say, just seeing a lot of the newer faces showing up is what I find favorite. Seeing those matches their talents. Not
to spoil anything, but yeah, the Beast in the East, it's that's under network exclusives. It was like 2 hours long, and I don't know if you guys have caught it yet or not, but it was Balor and Owens, and I'm telling you right now that's got match of the year already for me.
That was a great. I
bring up one that beat yours.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about the Brock, Cena, and Rollins match. It's been my favorite for a while, but you mentioned it in NXT, reminded me Beast in the East or whatever, and that. I don't know, to watch the way that match was presented, it had all the great indie spots, and we get to see it every Wednesday on NXT after we get done at CHWA, you know. I love NXT.
So anything pop in your head, Coxie?
Honestly, I mean, the only match that really stood out to me this whole year was when Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania.
It's a good moment.
That was good.
That was a good moment to see the future actually.
Right? Yeah. And to see that douchebag get the title.
Yeah. I liked watching all the kids in the crowd kind of get sad because you know Rollins is playing a great heel. I mean, he's really sticking to that.
It's either that match or when Kevin Owens beat John Cena in his first actual match, and I watched all those little kids cry.
That was a good one.
Do
you think? Okay, here's a question.
You can tell why he's a bit of a jerk in our wrestling business, can't you?
I tell the truth.
You think
nothing wrong with that?
You think since Owens dropped the strap, the NXT strap, to
he's winning the U.S. title?
you think that's gonna happen?
Oh, it's happening.
Dude, I'm really hoping
sorry.
it does, because if they made him drop that title for nothing, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, he's obviously going to be bumped to the main roster. That's a guarantee.
No, he's already at the main roster too. So.
Well, I mean, now that he doesn't have the NXT
Now he's
title,
official, like,
Yeah.
full-time
Yeah.
main roster.
I think that transition was really natural too. I think that was an organic transition. Didn't take very long either.
He was pissed about it though too.
It wasn't.
Yeah, Kevin Owens was pissed he had to drop the title to Finn Balor. That kind of there made me think that he's possibly not getting the title from Cena.
You know, the only thing is that I think that really stuck out to me as, you know, I was watching a podcast and Chris Jericho made the comment, kayfabe is dead. You know, we act like characters on screen, but, you know, kayfabe's pretty much dead. Everybody knows that wrestling's, you know, choreographed, set up. You know, everybody knows we play characters. What really struck me as odd is Owens is really stuck to it. That stuck to kayfabe. I mean, like I said, Beast in the East was in Tokyo. And, you know, you watch a championship match from over in Japan, they present him with flowers and streamers. And Owens throws the flowers he gets presented. And that's so dishonorable over in Japan. And, like, to see him stick to his character, I mean, dude, my hat's off to him.
All I have to say is, Kevin, you are a bit of a douche, but yet you stuck to your character, so bravo on your part.
Like I said, that to me was the biggest, that was the biggest, like, wow moment of the, and that sounds so stupid that just him throwing a bouquet of flowers is, like, my biggest wow moment of that pay-per-view,
But you got to think of customs though. Like in Japan, they can get shot and killed in that.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm glad they understand that, you know, technically it's just a show and shit, but still.
Well, over in Japan, it's more of a sport, too. It's not really looked at as a sports entertainment. It's a real sport over there.
So they have, I'm assuming then they don't go by choreographs then. If you win the match, you actually win the match.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know how it all works, but I know, well, when Luke and I went to wrestling school, we talked to a couple people that worked in Japan, and they were pretty much telling us, like, the endings and stuff could be choreographed, but most of the matches shoot wrestling. It's really hard-hitting, it's stiff, I don't know, man. When I watch Japan matches, the only thing that runs through my head is, you know, these guys are nuts. You know, I throw some pretty stiff kicks. Both of you can vouch for that. But I mean, I've never kicked somebody as hard as Kenta. You know, you watch a Kenta match, he knocks people out.
There's a reason his song said, "I'm not gonna knock you out."
Exactly, dude.
Mama said, "Knock you out."
What do you guys think of TNA?
It's going downhill.
It is. Just give it up, man. Just give it up and give all your time back to Global Force Wrestling, because that's going to be what takes over.
Yeah, just TNA silently merge in with Global Force and it'll be good to go.
You know, that's what's just such a damn shame. You know, they moved to Mondays. They did that Monday Night War thing, or they tried to do the Monday Night War thing. It didn't really work, and I thought, you know, at first, this is cool. You know, this is an alternative brand, kind of like how NXT is WWE's alternative. You know, it's still WWE, but I don't know. I was a really big TNA fan until they got rid of, like, Van Dam. Then they, you know, got rid of Ric Flair again. You know, and, like, a lot of people don't like Flair. I'm one of the only Flair fans I know anymore. I love
just
Ric
like
Flair.
watching him march around, yell, "Woo!" Attack his clothes, and
Yeah.
So he was the first wrestler I actually got to meet in person.
Dude, that's awesome. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, have you guys ever met anybody from WWE?
And so I've got to meet Ric Flair, got to meet Owen Hart before he died, and I got to meet Kane.
Dude, that's awesome.
I went to this last year's Comic-Con, and I did get to see and actually talk a little bit to Paige from. So that was kind of cool, getting to talk to one of the divas, see how it was from the female side of WWE, not just your main roster. And it was kind of cool to, for one, her accent just. I like that accent.
Is she as cute in real life as she
We're
is?
a little busy, peoples.
Is she as cute in real life as she is in WWE?
She is. She is very.
Ah, we have Pain Train's wife on our podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss Pain Train.
This is Mrs. Pain Train. We're filming a podcast for the page, so say hi to like 900 people.
Party's here!
Here's a question. You're on the podcast now. You ever meet any WWE wrestlers?
Randy Orton, and he looks damn good in pink. But he's an asshole in real life, no joke.
I forgot about him too. I met him at the Ford
one I've ever
dealership
met.
in Granite.
I like how
I met Zack Ryder, though. A few times.
Woo woo woo.
Dude,
You
that's
You
know
know
it.
it, bro.
So here's another question I feel worthy of asking. With where we're at in CHWA, right? we've went from mattresses and trampolines to the arena, the ring, all that fun stuff. Do you think we're gonna grow from here, or do you think this is the final peak? We've reached our apex. There's no going past.
There's no such thing as a peak. I'll say once you hit the top, you can always keep going.
Do you want my opinion?
Yes.
So you're in the podcast.
I think that if we could set all the drama aside, like if we have a problem with somebody, we PM that person. We can set that aside. You guys can go far. You guys could be on Tough Enough, no joke. And that's my opinion.
Tough Enough would be fun. What about you?
No, but I'm
Luke?
just saying.
I see it as, I've said this multiple times, outside of podcasts and cameras and everything, there's a mountain. I obviously say mountain stuff because that just makes me think more of Japan. I love it. But you climb that mountain, you get to the top. Everyone thinks you're going to have that chance of falling, of course. But people think you're stuck on there because in physical life you can't do anything more when you get to the top. How I see it is, there's stairs that take you up to where you can see that not only are you wrestling for crowds where you can see down, you look down, you can see all the people, but you're also able to see everyone who you've lost. The people who are watching down from are with you. So there's just no limits.
There's also bigger mountains to climb.
Hey,
There's always one mountain to beat.
I mean, with Money in the Bank coming up, and world reveal, screw it.
How dare you!
With our Rungs of Glory match coming up on the 18th, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys, this is hit or miss. This is going to be a really big event. This is going to be a big match, big knock it out of the park match, or this is just going to be a complete flop. Because Luke was in the company at the time. We tried to do a...
Luke deserves the title, by the way.
We tried to film this match where it was kind of like the Hunger Games. We had all the Miss Pain Train, everybody.
Yeah.
What?
Miss Pain Train, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. She gave kisses.
We tried filming a match kind of like the Hunger Games. All the weapons were in the middle of the our ring base, and it was like the cornucopia. But here was the problem. We tried choreographing spots, and we had wrestlers getting eliminated before their spots. We had people getting knocked out.
Confusion.
Dylan had a heat stroke in the middle of the match, and it's one of those things. It's just
Eat your
such a
heart out,
mess.
WWE.
Yeah, it's just a mess, you know. It's just such a mess, and we're cramming what I think there's gonna be 8 people in our match, or maybe even more.
I thought you were doing 2.
We're talking about like actually in Money in the Bank at one time in one match you'll be at least 8 competitors. That's not necessarily all in the ring, but we're trying to cram all those people in a match. Some of them fresh, some of them kind of experienced, and we're trying to throw together this spectacle. I guess we'll call it a spectacle, and we're trying to put it over that I'm gonna jump off a ladder and I'm gonna do some kind of cool flippy move, and I'm gonna land on 9-10 guys. Everyone's gonna fall, and then when everybody falls, it's gonna be a big spot. But here's the problem, right? From experience from last Wednesday, I flip, one person catches me, then I'm hurt, then I can't finish the rest of the match. Or Lucas goes to do a 450. He lands on a ladder because somebody didn't move the ladder when they were supposed to. He gets hurt. It's all this stuff that can go wrong. That for some reason we always have a bad knack of all the bad stuff happen. Like the what ifs always end up happening. So I mean, I'm just nervous about it not going over as well as it's supposed to.
Risks are risks.
Yeah, whatever happens.
You gotta take risks.
Yeah, it's either a shoot or fail. If you shoot, then you're going up higher. If you fail, then you're just gonna start a little lower
If
again.
you wanna walk out, all your dreams are just out the window. Don't ever give up.
It's true.
Straight up.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Because I see a lot of you guys going far. No offense, but especially you two are really good. I don't know exactly how long you've been doing it, but yeah. He plays 2 people. That has to be exhausting.
It was a pain in the butt.
But I mean, mad props. I mean.
Then again, we have a man who likes to play 3-4 people.
TJ, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mr. Adams, who won't stop having a freaking personality disorder.
Yeah.
I've only been around for maybe
I'll get him
a couple
myself.
weeks, but I'm actually into everything that's going on. I like to sit and watch it. My kids aren't driving me nuts. I do enjoy it.
That's good. It's good
So
from a fan.
I'm a true fan.
That's good to hear from a fan.
All you other backyard people. Did you hear that? We winning.
You know, we have like September coming up.
Wait,
right?
I probably should take that back.
We have the John Holt / Best in the Backyard 2 coming up. You know, that's like and the first one was so flawless. You know, we had such a good show, and you know, I really want this one to be big too.
Repeat itself.
Yeah, I really want this to go over well. You know, it's like it's much deeper than it's just like a show. You know, it's like I don't know. The John Holt show is supposed to be, you know, for John. It's supposed to be for so many people. It's just I don't know. It's gonna be so hard to. It's gonna be an emotional event, just like last year. I think, you know, because one of the days is actually the day. You know,
Indeed.
it's the day. You know, and I think with Titus and Lassiter and maybe some OCW guys and everybody coming down here, we really need to blow the roof off of the building.
Well, the show also should be outside, guaranteed too.
Yeah.
Gives you
Well,
a
we
lot.
were when we were last year. Hopefully, we'll have the same weather conditions.
Well, I mean, it being John Holt's show, I guarantee you.
Oh, you don't. No matter what, I'm going to be outside.
Yeah.
Ring or no ring, I'm outside. I'll take him on again after 1,000 times we've done it, and I don't care. We'll make it a whole new match, and we'll call ourselves freaking Timon and Pumbaa and wrestle. I don't give
I'm
a crap.
game.
From the savannah.
What do you think? I mean, what do you guys think about? We've got a couple of new guys joining up. Do you think it's a safe statement to make that wrestling around where we live is not that popular?
Wrestling,
To a certain extent, yes.
Depending on who you're around, yeah, it's very hard on finding wrestling fans around here, like who actually would want to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like the St. Louis area, there's a lot who would, but they will usually go out of their way to get into actual training. They want to go and be on TV. We like doing what we do because we love it.
Yeah. You know, because I
Like-
noticed that. Oh, that's the ice cream truck.
We don't have a lot. I mean,
I'm from Granite.
we don't
I'm
have a
not
lot
used
of
to it.
money. We have those moments where everyone has enough to get something that's stupendous to everybody else.
Well, you guys just got heart, and I mean,
And
that's where everybody starts.
We
Yeah.
show
It's
it,
a lot of money going out.
as she
too.
said, we show it through how we do everything versus how we watch.
Yeah.
So, just because I know that love being on the podcast and all, love not having to yell at you and hate you and all this, because even though you keep stealing my anime figures from when we were little, I just have to say, I took your G.I. Joe, I gave it back. I also threw a Barbie in there with you so you could have him date someone, but I have to go practice for a match,
Okay.
because we have a show today.
Indeed.
So-
we do. I got a little bit of time.
We have a little bit of time, so thank you for
Sorry.
having me on the podcast.
I'm saying you have a match.
I shall
against
see
me.
you later, because,
We do
well,
have a match
we're kind
together.
of, we're usually around each other.
I'm saying you're my partner.
Well, nice to meet you guys.
And she apparently has to use the bathroom. So,
Potty break.
have a nice day. Woo, 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 you know it.
So I guess it's just you and I for a minute.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, that's Chinese.
Goofball. Here's something, Zach, that I was thinking about earlier today. You know, we've got all these new guys coming in. You know, I noticed that with our videos, right? Like Best in the Backyard in September, we had a huge crowd. And then right around the time of the JC Carnival show, we had a giant crowd. But then again, it just gets right back to not having that big of a crowd. And it's like, I don't know if this is just me or if it's just you. I love performing for the online fans, you know, the people watching the podcast, the live streams, the promos, the YouTubes. But I get more of a drive and more of a adrenaline rush when I know that there's like, you know, 20, 30 people, if not more, sitting out there, you
Like
know.
the best experience I've had so far wrestling for this company was the pro show at Carnival.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, that was so much exposure. I mean, even with the bullshit that we had to deal with because of that stupid asshole, I mean, we still put on a hell of a show and people loved us. We gained so many fans that we went from like what 500 to now 800 people.
Oh,
liking
it's
our page.
stupid. It was like maybe 595, maybe 600 likes on
Yeah,
Facebook, and then
blew the hell
now
up.
it's like 801, I think.
Yeah.
You know, when we hit 1,000, what we need to do is we need to have a party, and we need to film the 1,000 like party or something. You know, because like our YouTube subscribers have went. We only had like 100 before the carnival. Now we're almost at 200 subscribers on YouTube.
That's awesome.
You know, it's just the numbers are growing. It's just I think my biggest problem with social media though is I found out the other day from a friend of mine who runs a wrestling page on Facebook as well that anything we post, only maybe like 200 people see it. You got to actually go on there to see it. It's not like it doesn't pop up on their newsfeed. you know, and a majority of us, it pops up on our news feeds because we're admins. But, you know, it's one of those things where every day, you know, I'm getting messages from people in different countries. I'm getting messages from people in different states, different parts of the country, you know. Where are you guys located? Love to come out and join you guys. You know, that one guy from Tennessee that just messaged the page last night. You know,
I saw that.
You know, it's crazy stuff like that makes me love the social media. But, you know, it's just, we live in the age of computers. You know, we live in the age of technology, and I really wish we could get back to having more of a live audience. You know, I wish we could go back to September. We had, like, easily each week 30 people showing up, you know, and then, like, we went through the winter, and it's like every year through the winter we don't have any fans. We did this year, surprisingly. And then, you know, we go through the spring, then we go through the spring, then the summer. Then near the end of summer into early fall, we got a lot of fans again. But, you know, then it's like winter hits and we lose all our fans. So for, like, you know, 9-10 months out of the year, we've only got, or 9-10 months out of the year, we don't really have any more than 5 fans. And I'm not saying that's not enough. That's more than enough. I really wish this person would quit calling me. It's more than enough, but it's like, it's not enough to give me that same shot of adrenaline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
You know, the carnival show, we performed in like 300-400 people.
Yeah.
And then it rained
2
while
or 3
we were
days.
there.
But, I mean, people are still standing there watching us.
Yeah.
And when it rained, even more people came under the pavilion to watch us.
Well, that one night, that stupid kid grabbed that flag. You know, dude, there was easily maybe 300 people.
Yeah, I'm surprised that kid made it out alive, to be honest with you.
That was almost a riot. Fun fact, that's not online actually, but I mean, we got a couple minutes. We could tell them the story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move over here so they can see both you and me. They just saw my butt. Perverts.
Ass ahoy.
But so at the pro show, me, the Russian over here, and Elride had a flag match. Probably the best match of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, me and Matt Revelation, in my opinion, is a close second, but it's safe to say that there's certain people in the company, they get in that ring, and, man, they just know how to work. You know? And it just, we get in the ring, and we have this great flag match. And I had the United States flag, he had the Russian, and Lucas had the Japanese flag right there. I win the match. I finally get the world title, the pro title. I go to get...
Finally lost.
Yeah. Dude, you want to defeat it for, like, what, 3 days almost?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get in the ring, I go to give this celebratory speech to kick off, or to send the fans off into the sunset. What happens?
Some drunk asshole jumps into the wrestling ring, grabs your American flag, rips it, gets kicked in the head, thrown on the ground, and then runs off like a little bitch.
Yep, and then all those kids tried fighting all our wrestlers, the police. That one dude backed a car up or whatever while he's on heroin and crashed his car. That was retarded.
Because he's dumb.
Yeah, that same kid that grabbed the flag, wasn't it? That was it.
Karma.
Yeah, I mean...
What goes around comes around.
Yeah, you know, and it's just, it's disappointing, not just as a wrestler, you know, not just as somebody that worked their ass off.
It's disappointing as a human being. Like,
yeah, it's like...
Everybody knows it's a show. Like, I'm not really Russian. Obviously, you can tell I have a fucking American accent. Okay? That hurt me more than anything, you know? Like, I understand I have to play his character on TV, but if you rip the American flag, you're ripping a part of me, you're ripping a part of him, or you're ripping a part of every freaking American in this country. You're crying out loud.
Yeah.
No amount of drugs should ever tell you that ripping the flag is okay.
Well, and you remember a couple weeks ago, I got all that heat online because, you know, I got in the ring when that stomp on the flag challenge or whatever was happening. You know, and I made that promo about if you're going to stomp on my flag, then you can just get the fuck out of my country. You know, and that lost us some fans that, you know, got some heat for that from a couple of the boys backstage. But, you know, it's like I said, I've been known to be brutally honest. I've been known to be an asshole sometimes. I've been known to be a hothead. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, everybody that knows me knows I take pride in the country, you know. And it pisses me off that all these idiots walking all over a flag, that idiot, probably the idiot that ripped my flag is probably going to watch this video at some point in time. Because I'm sure he probably follows our, you know, fucking Facebook page and thinks, oh, I showed these assholes. You know, because he's that guy, you know.
I guarantee it. He's going to be pissed off or butthurt, whichever you look at it, that we're talking shit about him, but fuck that dude and anything he stands for. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. You know, the thing that I think hurt me the most about that, and it's probably going to sound selfish, but, you know, everybody knows that there's 4 guys that started, technically 3, because Josh really didn't even come along until, you know, midway through the first season of EBW. None of it's on camera, but, you know, like, 3 guys started this company, 6, 7 years ago, and then to finally see all of that work pay off to be in that ring with the title in front of those fans, and to not even get to celebrate that night because that dude fucked it all up, and that, I think that's what emotionally fucked me up the worst, was that, I finally got to, like, that. It's kind of like you fight all your life to get to, like, that little carrot or whatever, and you finally grab it, and then it's like somebody just knocks you out and just takes it, and all that work is just ripped away from you, and it's not like you can go back in time and fix it. It's over.
Once it happens, it happens. There's no rewind button or reset button with life.
Yeah, and I got some heat, I know, from the JCs. I guess, shouldn't have said that, but anyway, fuck it, we're being honest anyway. I got a little bit of heat for kicking that dude in the face. But it's like I said, I was scared, and you guys that watch, when they say I'm only 5'3", fucking Coxie can tell you that's not a lie. I'm only like 5'3".
5'3". I'm 6'2".
Yeah, I'm not a big guy.
The difference. If we stand up, there's a big difference between.
Yeah, I'm not a big guy. I'm a pretty small. I'm not even an average size guy. I'm a pretty small fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then this big fat motherfucker that hops in the ring to grab my flag. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't going to stand there. What if he would have pulled out a knife and tried to stab me? He didn't, but you never know, dude.
Yeah, you never know in America.
Yeah, and I mean, we live in Illinois, which, it's, where we live is pretty peaceful. Up until that shit happened at the carnival, around here is pretty peaceful, and then that shit to happen and a riot break out because I kicked a fucking idiot in the face for grabbing a flag and ripping it, and then Dylan threw him fucking halfway, and all those kids. I mean, that was a fucked up situation. That was a fucked up night. And then Jake got banned for getting even more mad at that kid and trying to go after it. It was really fucked up. This is the first time I think we've ever aired dirty laundry to the audience. But I mean, dude, there's a first for everything.
Podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no kayfabe, so why not?
Yeah, and I think the other thing that really kind of pissed me off about the pro show is, like, we had all those fans there, and it was like such a beautiful organic thing, and then it's like, and it's just my opinion, and we've talked about this in private. I'm not afraid to air it to the world. I just wish we could get out of the fucking garage or the arena, whatever. I wish we could expand more. I think I'm trying to rush it though. I think there's times I'm just like, man, am I rushing this? But it's just like one of those things. Like,
it's gonna be a minute. I mean, it's gonna take 1 to 2 years before we'll finally get our feet underneath us and get this somewhere.
Well, yeah, and the same people that pour the money into the company are still gonna continue to do it. I don't have a lot of money, but normally when I do get money, it goes toward this,
Exactly, I try my best to pitch in.
Yeah, and well, Maddie's not here because she's camping, with her family and shit, but if she was here, she'd tell you, anytime I get money, yeah, like, we might go out on a date or something, but I purposely tell her, like, I've got to save this much amount for, such and such in CHWA, like, we know that one crossbeam or whatever is going to be warped here before long. We're going to have to get a new one. That's like $200 right there. Yeah, it's pretty fucking expensive. Yeah. And it's just, that's something a lot of fans I don't think grasp. It's a lot of money going out, and there's really never anything that comes in. I mean, we get small donations sometimes.
Don't lie to people. We have nothing coming in.
Yeah, pretty much.
$5 here or there is not a whole lot of money, but I mean, we're still going to do what we do, to please everybody. We're entertainers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that simple. We tell a story with our body.
Pretty much. I think the worst thing about all this crap is, it's not the worst. I think the most amazing, I'll use the word amazing, the most amazing part of CHWA is that we have started such a, what's the word, a controversial, like, type, it's hard to put more, it's just crazy to me that all these indie feds around here know about us. They know about us, they watch our tapes, they talk to us, some of them bash us, some of them promote us, and it's just like, it's crazy to me to think that we're just a couple of, kids, basically. We're all of age, but
to everybody else, we're kids.
Yeah, we're kids fucking around in a ring, and a lot of people don't think we're properly trained. Anybody that would take the time to sit down and watch would know, but, people don't. But it's just like, it's crazy that at indie shows, we've had people be like, there's this fucking group, out in Cottage Hills, they're ruining the sport, and it's like I've always said, even bad publicity in a sick, cosmic sort of way is good.
Yeah, because as long as our name's being spread out there, people are going to know about us.
I had a kid...
Haters love me.
Yeah. I had a kid talk to me online the other day and was like, I heard at this recent indie show, and I'm not going to throw their name under the bus, because I just don't want another war yet. I don't feel like we need to start one, but he was like, I was at an indie show, down in Alton, and heard this. The promoter was bashing you guys pretty hard while he was in the ring. And I witnessed 4 or 5 people get their phones out and go right to your guys' page and like the page and start looking at it. Because they said, any promotion that's going to bash another promotion obviously is afraid of them. And we wanted to see what they were so afraid of, and you guys are fucking great. It's a shame you guys aren't expanded. It's people like that. It's fans that message me shit like that all the time that just make me like, you know what, yeah.
No matter what, you're going to have people who either love you or hate you.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no middle ground.
Yeah. I just think that it's kind of like I was saying when Miss Pain Train and Luke were in here, that really we're at that holding point, where it's like sink or swim at this point. We've got so much drama bullshit backstage. We've got so many fucking thieves going around. We've got all this bullshit. And, it's really, not to throw anybody under the bus, but it's kind of just like me, you, and like a couple other people that are the level-headed. Yeah, we get hot sometimes, but it's when a problem rises, we're the first ones on the front lines, we're the first ones coming up with the ideas. And it's just, it blows my mind that, in a small company like this, not everybody's willing to pitch in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it just, I don't know. I would think that if everybody pitched in a little more, that it would be...
If everybody pitched in, this company would actually be somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, don't cut corners with it. Straight up. If everybody pitched in, period, we'd be somewhere.
Yeah.
We'd be able to at least put on a show a month in, like, the KC Hall or somewhere. I guarantee
it would be so much fun. I think that's definitely going to be a possibility with me getting that better job now. I think with me, you, and a couple other select few, that it would be a possibility. It's just like, yeah, newsflash, we don't get paid to wrestle, so yeah, of course, obviously, we all work 9 to 5s, but, it's one of those things, it's like, I think, when I sit back, like, right now, like, part of me forgets the camera's even recording, But like when I sit back and I just sit and I analyze CHWA and I just think about like everything, it's so fucking stressful. Some nights I lose so much sleep. Maddie has to deal with me bitching to her constantly, and I applaud her because a lot of people wouldn't put up with it. I just bitch so much about it, but it's like I don't bitch because I'm being a prick. It's like I'm bitching because I see so much more that could happen. Yeah, I see so much more that could happen, and it's sink or swim. It's sink or swim. Let's
time for our mama bird to throw us out of the nest and see if we can fly.
Yeah, that's a really good metaphor for this. I think we'll end the podcast with this. It's not September yet. I think Best in the Backyard is going to be fucking phenomenal. We've got a lot of talent coming from all different states.
A lot of surprises in store.
Oh hell yeah! I think Money in the Bank. I got a good feeling about it. Let's hope.
Me too.
I think with
it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, I think with all the new guys, new faces, I think the fans are in for 2015 will be the year. It is the year.
2015 and 2016 are going to expect some wild stuff out of us.
Exactly.
And only expect our roster to get bigger.
Exactly. We might lose a body here or there, but for the most part, I think we have a consistent roster full of very dedicated men and women. Just some of them need to get their ass in gear. Mm-hmm. I think that's the nicest way I can put it.
Right. People need to get jobs. Until we can actually start getting paid for it, we have to be real life people.
Yep. We're only characters 2 days a week,
Yeah. We're human beings the rest.
Exactly. Alright, Zach, well, I guess we'll wrap the podcast up now, because we got a show in about 10 minutes. Love having you on the podcast, man. Definitely going to have you back on the podcast. Fans, thanks for tuning in, listening to us ramble and bitch and rave and laugh for 30 minutes. So, yeah, this is Exodus, and
Equinox.
Out.